So now I have done my space section with organic and geometric shapes. I made sure I filled the whole space, and creatively, we're actually going to move down to form. I'm going to show you a couple things. Remember the difference between shape and form: two-dimensional, flat. Three-dimensional, this has depth or thickness. So I'm going to show you on this piece of paper how to make some simple forms. So first, we are going to start with a basic square or triangle. Let me see. You can just freehand this. You do not need to have a ruler for this. So I've made a square. From each point on the top, I'm going to draw a same line going in the exact same direction. So if they were parallel, if they were going the same direction, they would never meet if they're parallel, just like train tracks. So if I'm gonna go this angle here, I'm gonna keep my pencil the same and draw the same angle here. Then I'm gonna come down to this point and I'm gonna draw the same angle. So this line, and this line, they're all going in the same exact direction. So now I'm going to close this off. So I'm looking at this line here when I draw this line. You can even go over it with your pencil like that to sort of create a memory for yourself. And when I want to close this off, I'm looking at this line here and I'm going to close that off. If these lines are drawn too long or too short, you just simply erase them or make them longer. So now I have made a basic square into the form of a cube. Okay, let's move on. If we have a basic triangle, we could go the same way as the cube, or we could go a different way. So let's go a different way. The top point, I'm going to keep a line going in one direction. So this bottom point, these two lines are both going in the same direction. And then I'm going to be looking at this line here and closing off and meeting those two lines. So now I have made this triangle into a form. We also can make, let's see what else. We could do like taller, skinnier rectangles into forms. So point. Let's go this way. This way, we can make them longer. Then we're gonna go down here. We went this way. Now I'm gonna look at this line. So see, I can erase that. That was a little too long. I'm gonna look at this line to close it off on top. So you can make all kinds of forms. I want you to fill your space here with form. Remember, you are going to erase the word form as you start working on this. And you can start anywhere you like. Because this is a creative piece of art, you can go in all directions you want. So I could go this way. I could even go longer if I wanted to. I would highly suggest that you start with pencil, and then you can fill this in with color later. Maybe I'll do a really tall, funny looking, look at that. I'm going to make it into kind of a triangle and a rectangle together. You can make fun forms like that. And maybe I'll go this way, that way, that way. So I'm looking at this line. So you can play around with these. Start with shape, and they turn into form. This line. It probably wouldn't be that thick there, but so I think I'm gonna go about right there. So that's a funny looking form. And then maybe I can fit one more here. Maybe I can fit another wider triangle. So this is going to be behind, so I wouldn't see this line. But, so these overlap. Okay, so that fills the space nicely. Now I can color this in a way that would be interesting. I could take my, like say I use the same kind of pens. I could do the sides of them stripes. Maybe I'll do all the sides in some kind of stripe. You can color this however you would like. I just want you to show me forms. Maybe I'll go down like this. And let's see, maybe the tops are stripes but in orange. And maybe the fronts are purple stripes. Let's see. I kind of like that effect that's happening. I didn't intend on that, but I kind of like it. So I could keep it with my pencil line, or I could decide that I want to erase my pencil after my ink dries. Or I could go in, as long as I have a piece of paper underneath, because remember Sharpie bleeds through, so make sure you're either working on a table that it doesn't matter if it bleeds through, or you have another piece of paper behind it. Maybe I want to accentuate those lines. So these are all your creative decisions. These are all decisions you will make on your own based on how you are going to show form. I'm also going to color the background because I don't want to leave a lot of white space in my art. White space always, not always, but almost always looks like space that isn't finished yet. So you definitely want to fill the background somehow. All right, after form, we will move on to value.